Welcome to Global Voices, the official podcast of the Center for Socially Engaged Theatre at the University of Regina.
I want to come to the question of representation. I know that a few days ago, a very well-known actor in Nollywood really raised eyebrow, particularly with a particular airline. I'm not going to mention all of that name because we're not advertising for them. Except they pay us. but something that this particular actor mentioned is underrepresentation, and I think some researchers might be interested in that, because a lot of the time when we look at race relation, representation, misrepresentation, underrepresentation, identity, and different things like that, we don't think about in-flight entertainment. So, and I'll give an example. So on my recent trip to Brazil, each time any country that I'm going to that I've not been there before, when I get on the plane, at least my last leg into that country, I peruse the themes that they have. And the first question I'm asking myself, I'm not interested in watching the Hollywoods and all that. I'm interested in watching movies that are peculiar to their history, to their culture, to their experience and all of that.
Great.
And a lot of the time, that's the first way I connect to them. So is it the Brazil? And when I was going to Poland, I watched different movies. In fact, I watched one movie rather, and I also watched another movie that has to do with Argentina and all. And that's what I do for a lot of my trips. Now, what can you say to how in-flight entertainment can help us to address all these social justice issues, particularly around representation? Because we know that cultural production, media is critical to understanding or engaging or connecting with another culture, another race.
Thank you very much. That's a very strategic and good question. I'm also working on issue of underrepresentation.
Of course.
Interestingly enough, what the actor said is what I've also observed. Even when I flew an African airline that flies continental or intercontinental, I noticed that African movies are not well represented.
That's right.
She flew an airline from another part of another continent, North Africa, and she was complaining about underrepresentation of Africa. Now, one of the things I like you to understand is airlines source their movies through vendors. He who owns the airlines or invests in the airlines determines what gets to be played in the flight entertainment. Therefore, airlines of national carriers tend to project more of their culture,
Of course.
within and outside. True to the foundation or the evolution of in-flight entertainment, it started as a business idea, and it just keeps improving on that. It's not passenger-centered.
No.
They are not looking at the statistics of the number of people that fly their airline to determine the kind of
content
to provide.
That's right.
To ensure equal representation, to ensure that all the continents are captured based on the data from the statistics, right? Although airlines try, they do researches, but on this particular point we are discussing of underrepresentation in the content of in-flight entertainment, I will put them to test to prove that they have asked their passengers and they have been able to voice out that they were forced to watch certain contents because they couldn't find what they were looking for. So it is a major issue. And it can be a business strategy.
That's true.
In the sense that we can say, we provide what you love on our airline. You are well represented. Because we know that you are our primary focus. Especially if you are flying into a country that is not the country of origin. In your own case, you are going to Brazil, so you could watch movies that has to do with Brazil. But in case where you are flying Air Canada, for instance, to Europe, right? And it's your first experience. Can you get sufficient content on Air Canada that speaks to the culture, the European culture?
That's true.
Or because the airline originates from Canada, it has more content, more Canadian content.
That's right.
So these are some of the logistics that can be looked into.
Also say that, I mean, for the carrier that I used when I was going to Brazil, it's a Latin American carrier.
Okay.
So, they had some content that has to do with our region.
Great.
But I want to just go further on the question of, I think there are other practical issues that determine what content that gets there.
Sure.
There are times that some content are not easily, vendors don't get them. Vendors are unable to get some content because of regulation, because of IP, because of a modification of the content, because of so many things. And that's why a lot of the time we have so much content from Hollywood on many of these airlines versus content from Bollywood, Nollywood, Kannywood, and all the other kinds of woods around the world. Do you think that's
I beg to disagree.
Okay.
Because it's like saying there are movies you can't watch on Netflix. Okay? It is a digital content sharing platform, right? Of course, the copyright law also regulates in-flight entertainment.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but when it has not become a critical discourse,
that's true. Yeah.
That some people are underrepresented.
That's true.
For instance, we take Africa for instance. I came from Africa. If you have no national carrier, you're already at a disadvantage.
That's true.
About the spread of your culture through in-flight entertainment.
That's right.
It means, therefore, an American airline decides what percentage of content of African origin.
That's right. That will be
in their menu. And that is already an issue, because even if they have 90% Africans flying that airline on a particular route, they determine what content those 90% watched. I really don't believe that they can't get content from other. There are indie producers.
That's right.
Indie filmmakers. One filmmaker of Nigerian origin tweeted sometimes ago that a particular airline, international airline, contacted him. He's an indie movie maker, and they requested for 3 of his movies. The vendor needed to buy it so they can have it on board. There was also a time when Air France had to sponsor a movie maker, Kunle Afolabi. The movie is titled The CEO. So what they did was, the partnership was to provide the flight for all the actors to all the locations. And then when the movie was out, it was premiered on board Air France. Now, the issue of premiering movie on board started around 1964. It started with Hollywood. I will agree that Hollywood dominates this industry.
That's true.
Because it was actually an invention they had been part of from outset. So perhaps Bollywood, Nollywood, and all the other woods may just need to wake up to the reality that if we are going to market our culture, we have more way than one to do so. And in-flight entertainment is a viable opportunity to do so. I think that's it.
Interesting. So, there's so many things we're going to unpack.
Yeah.
Because from in-flight entertainment, you also look at food. If you're flying to, fly to a country in Africa, it's very possible that they're not giving you the food, the cuisine of the destination country or city.
Sure.
They will only give you, So I think there's so much to unpack here. I guess, trying to wrap up here, one of the questions that I would love to ask you is, what would you love to tell those who might be interested in partnering with us on this project?
We are open.
What kind of partnership are we looking into?
Okay, we are open to partnership. Largely, the research is self-funded, and that means it could hamper on the reach. Okay, it could hamper on the number of airlines we can study. It could hamper on the objectives, right? Because of limitation of resources. So one of the ways businesses can partner with us, for instance, we can have a business that is interested in the research report, because if you are a vendor and you need to have access to more content, you can partner with us. If you are a business person, an investor, you can partner with us. If you are a movie maker, you can partner with us and try to help fund the research. If you fund the research, it gives you access to part of the report of the research, or in whole, depending on how much you want to be involved. I think we have quite airlines can partner with us, give us free ticket, let's fly on their plane, and then access what they have, speak with passengers, and get feedback from passengers for them to get to know how passengers feel. I remember at some point there are 2 airlines in Europe. I won't mention their names because we are not paid to campaign for them. In-flight entertainment became the point of competition.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
We have better in-flight entertainment than you do.
Yep, I know.
And there's a particular international airline, I won't mention the name also. They are top notch when it comes to in-flight entertainment. For 12 years consistently, they were winning it. If it was not important, and I can tell you, it's not cheap to fly them, and they provide top service. Top-notch service for people who are restaurant owners, people in food business. These are opportunities, hotels. These are opportunities for you to get to know how to market your product. Join us as we embark on the research, and of course, you will have the report that can help you, and we can take it a notch further to guide you on how you can access the market.
This is interesting. So we're in the very heart of the prairies in Regina. We're launching a project on in-flight entertainment. It's at the intersection of aviation, culture, media, and entertainment.
Sure.
And so we're going to be coming back with more and more in terms of speaking about the process, not necessarily our findings at this point, but more about the process of some of those things that we've done already and that we'll continue to do as we build this particular research portfolio. It's good to have you. Thank you so much for taking the time to work on this. I'm really looking forward to continuing on this project, on this research. And then we do hope that, like correctly say, you can reach out to us at cset@uregina.ca. That's our email address for the center. And of course, Dr. John has his own, personal email address that you can reach out to him as a researcher, same as me. And then you can always find us on LinkedIn, on our website, cset.ca, and then we're hoping that we can continue to engage, and then that the industry and different stakeholders in the industry, in the ecosystem, can find this research useful, and they can partner and collaborate with us as we take this far.
Well, I need to appreciate you, Dr. Taiwo, for the support so far. And then I think we were in a meeting this morning. A company reached out from France, getting to know what we're doing and how we can work together. And that's just one out of the many companies that we chose to just respond to, because we have quite a lot that we are working on at the moment. So we are very much open, and you just send us a mail and then let's know what you have in mind and how we can work together. I'm sure that we'll come up with some interesting things. And for once, let's engage the industry. Not only engage the industry, let's turn the minds of people to something they are so used to, but they have not bothered to investigate.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, thank you. And I'm really always for thinking about unique area of research, and I think this is one of them. And for anyone that I've really engaged with on this topic, it's been wow. So I'm really looking forward to, we're going to be, sending out some writings, publishing things as we go on, continue to investigate and talk about things, and then hopefully continue to engage. So thank you so much.
All right. Taiwo, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's a
pleasure.
You have been listening to Global Voices, the official podcast of the Center for Socially Engaged Theatre at the University of Regina. For more details about the center, visit www.cset.ca.